Hello again, folks. We're testing this out one more time. Don't like the way it doesn't let me zoom. Let me try to play with this. See if we can get a good view. Apologies. That's better. It's as wide as it gets, huh? Do we get the whole deal in there? Just barely. All right, let's see what it looks like on stream. Yeah, it's not terrible. It's actually oriented the correct way. Just want to see if it picks up the dice. Oh, it's a much better quality stream, huh? How about that? All right, folks, we might be in business. I wish I could get a little wider angle. I wonder if I can raise this. Don't get vertigo. That's better. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better. Come this way a little bit, get more of the score sheet. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, so we got to remember to keep the cards a little in front of the stadium here, and we ought to be okay. All right. All right, all right, all right. Oh, I need to get my seat set up. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to JC Sports Replays as we screw around with going live on our mobile device. It works a hell of a lot better than on my ancient laptop, that's for sure. We may be interrupted at any time by barking dogs, wild women, or just my wife coming home from dinner with her coworkers, but here we are. We are set up to play some Strat-O-Matic baseball. I wonder if we could play this game. Hold on. What if we did this? Does that make any sense? No, I don't like it. It's too busy. We'll live with the score sheet off to the side. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I hope you don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it's pretty good. Like I said, it's a heck of a lot better than what we had going on before. It's possible I will need my glasses. But I think we've got a good presentation here. So I'll be reading chat as we welcome you to 1986 Strat-O-Matic Major League Baseball on opening day here in Pittsburgh at Three Rivers Stadium. It will be the New York Mets coming in to play the hometown Pittsburgh Pirates. The other games are trying to peek out from behind on the pad here. We're not going to let them. I think we've got a pretty good view here overall, right? It's a little tight, but I think we can make it work. I think the easiest thing we can do here is back this up a little. I'm going to move the table. This way I can be a little bit more toward the edge where I'm comfortable. Let's see how that looks. Well, now we've got a whole lot of table. So there we go. Score sheet is visible. I think we're in good shape. Hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm going to hear myself for a minute, put my headphones in, and see how I sound. We're picking up the video good. All right, I think we've got a broadcast, folks. So welcome to JC Baseball Replays, premier live stream of Strat-O-Matic Cards and Dice Baseball. My name is Joe, and I will be your announcer today for this game between the New York Mets and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's take a look at the lineup for the New York Mets. All right. Leading off and playing center field will be Lenny Dykstra. Batting second and playing second, Wally Backman. At first base and batting third, Keith Hernandez. The catcher, Gary Carter, will bat cleanup. Darryl Strawberry plays right field and bats fifth. Batting sixth and playing left field, George Foster. Batting seventh and playing third, Howard Johnson. The shortstop batting eighth, Rafael Santana. And you can't see him here, folks. That's a pitcher's hitting card, but batting ninth will be the pitcher, Doc Gooden. On the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates today will be Rick Reuschel. In '86, Reuschel went 9-16 with a 3.96 ERA and 34 starts. 232 hits in 216 innings, so more hits than innings allowed. Never a good thing. 56 walks, 125 strikeouts, and 20 homers. Reuschel throws from the right side. The defense today for the defensive lineup. Let's just go down the lineup here. All right. Pardon us, gentlemen, for the introductions. We'll bring you back in a moment. The Pirates set the lineup this way. Well, there's Dwight Gooden, if you were wondering. Pitcher for the Mets is 17-6, a 2.84 ERA in 33 starts, 197 hits in 250 innings, so a great hits to innings pitched ratio, 80 walks, 200 strikeouts, and 17 homers in 86. He will face a lineup that looks like this. Leading off and playing right field, R.J. Reynolds. Batting second and in center, Joe Orsulak. The second baseman, Johnny Ray, bats third. Batting cleanup, first baseman Sid Bream. Steve Kemp was scheduled to start for the Pirates in left and bat fifth, but he's not carded in Strat-O-Matic this year, so instead it'll be Lee Mazzilli. Yes, that's right. Mazzilli started the season with the Pirates before being traded back to the Mets later on in '86. So again, Mazzilli playing left field and batting fifth. The catcher will be Tony Pena. He'll bat sixth. Jim Morrison, the third baseman, will bat seventh. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Sam Khalifa. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Rick Reuschel. He's a pitcher's hitting one. But the Pirates take the field. And the Mets will come up to bat. The leadoff man is Lenny Dykstra. Woohoo, live stream. What's up, Alex? Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate that. I'm excited that it's working because I just live streamed Action PC on my, 8-year-old basically work laptop. And even though the sound came through good, the graphics and the webcam did not. So we were disappointed there, but the workaround is we can live stream Cards and Dice, and it seems to work pretty well with my mobile device. So that's what we're going to do. So here's Rick Reuschel. We got to calculate some holds, folks. By the way, before we get started, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our umpiring crew. Over at third base, we have Dave Pallone. The second baseman, Paul Runge. At first base, Jim Quick will watch the close plays at first, and Bob Engel is our home plate umpire. The visiting Mets are led by Davey Johnson. I'm not sure what year manager of the Mets, third or fourth, I believe. In 1985, they finished 98-64, which was good for second in the National League East. They hope to improve upon that this year, and if you know anything about '86, you know the Mets won it all. So we'll see how our replay goes, if it imitates real life or not, but the Mets have high hopes for this '86 season. The Pirates, on the other hand, just want to get out of the basement. Jim Leyland is in his first season as manager of Pittsburgh. They come off a 57-104 campaign, which was good for dead last in the National League East. So a tale of two teams here. And without further ado, we'll get things started. It looks like Reuschel is done with his warm-up tosses. Wait, slightly more ado. We're going to calculate the holds right here live on TV. By the way, it's a good game for baseball if you're interested in ballpark effects. We'll use the weather effects. And it is a night game, actually. We are on Tuesday, April 8th, which is technically the second day of the season, but still opening day. This is the Pirates' first game as well as the Mets' first game. I hate when they do split opening days, but that's what they did this year. Well, singles will be good on a 1 to 8 as far as ballpark effects. Home runs will be good on a 7 for lefties and a 13 for righties. Three Rivers Stadium is packed today, folks. 48,962 yellow and black in attendance. So the hold for Reuschel is a 0. He'll be working with his catcher Pena, who's a -3, which means the Mets will be held on with a -5, -7 efficiency. You can't see that part of the scorecard, but trust me, it's there. Meanwhile, Dwight Gooden has a +1 hold rating. He'll be working with catcher Gary Carter, who has a 0, which when you apply the holds, it'll be a -1, -3. So not as good for the Mets holding people on, but they have the better pitcher, so it kind of balances out. Jing Leland lighting up a cig in the dugout. For sure, Alex. He'll probably smoke a pack, depending on how this one goes. Maybe 2. For those of you who are curious, this stream is brought to you by my first drink this evening. Probably my last as well, just so you know. I like to relax in the evening with a little Buffalo Trace bourbon. I used to be a beer drinker, but ever since I've changed over to whiskey and liquor, I really enjoy a glass of Buffalo Trace while I'm playing Strat, and I hope you will enjoy the way it loosens me up so I can call this game without too much trepidation. Feel free to chat me up anytime. We won't take this one too seriously. We're going to have some fun. Well, Reuschel's warmed up. We've got the holds, we've got the weather, and Lenny Dykstra steps into the box, the left-hander. Dykstra in 1986. A .295 hitter, 27 doubles, 7 triples, and 8 homers, 45 runs batted in. He walked 58 times to only 55 strikeouts, so a nice ratio there. He stole 31 bases and was caught stealing 7 times. Now I want to warn my viewers that my wife is out to dinner with her coworkers tonight, and she may come home at any time, and I have 2 dogs, and they are liable to bark when it happens. So please hold your ears in case of emergency. I don't know how to mute this stream, and I don't want to. I'll pause it if I can. I don't think I can pause a live stream. Nope. So just want you to be aware. Hey, Alex M. We've got double Alex's in the chat. Thank you. Good to see you. Appreciate you joining me tonight. You're just in time for the first pitch from Rick Reuschel. Dykstra clears a little hole in the batter's box on the left-hand side. Dykstra is a speedster, a double-A stealer. If he gets on base, it could be trouble. They have to be wary for a bunt. But just so you know, we don't play with bunt for hit here. We don't need the 20-sider just yet because nobody's on base. So Reuschel is set. The windup and the pitch to Dykstra. Can you see those dice pretty good? I think so. Let's see how it rolls. 5-9. 5-9 against the lefty. That's going to be a normal power home run 1 to 7 or a double 8 to 20. Does Dykstra have normal power against righties? He does. He's weak against lefties, but normal against righties. So this one is hit. It is high. It is far. It is off the wall. It's going to be fielded out there by Orsulak. He gets it in quickly, but Dykstra is fast, and he is on with a leadoff double for New York. So the Mets wasting no time. A base hit to start the season. An extra base hit at that. And Dykstra is into second standing. Now Lenny's at 13 to steal third before the hold is applied. With the hold applied, he'd be a 6, so he's not going anywhere, but they are holding him on. That brings up Wally Backman. Backman, expectation in 1986 is a .320 batting average, 18 doubles, 2 triples, 1 home run, and 27 batted in. He walked 36 and struck out 32, so you can see the Mets' strength here. Their first 2 guys have more walks than strikeouts. He stole 13 and was caught 7 times, which is a pretty good ratio, almost above the ideal ratio of 67%. I'd really like 70% or better, but I'll be a little loose with the steals depending on the game situation. I like to have fun. Hope you guys are having a good night tonight. So Reuschel keeps an eye on Dykstra, but he's ready to pitch to Backman. Backman waits. The 3 means nothing. How about a 5-10 against Backman batting left? That's going to be a catcher's card X. So Tony Pena is an excellent catcher for Pittsburgh. He's a 1E6. We'll roll the fielding dice and grab our handy-dandy X chart here. It's going to be an 18-6. An 18 on a 1 is going to be a G2. And what was the E rating? E rating for Pena is a 6. So it's a 6-6. Nothing doing. So Pena pounces on a... Is the runner going to advance? I'm not sure. That's what we got to find out. Pena pounces on the grounder in front of the plate. That is not helpful. Infield is normal. It says right. Well, it's not hit to the right. Batter's out. Hit to shortstop, pitcher, or catcher. See decide. So we got to look at decide. It's the first time I've had that this season. Lead runner can attempt to advance a base. Running speed -4 plus fielder's defensive rating. Okay, so Dykstra's running speed is pretty good. It's a 1 to 17. -4 makes it a 1 to 13. And Pena is a 1. It's only a 1 to 14. Dykstra is going to go. Pena decides not to try to get him and create a big inning here if he doesn't. So Dykstra will advance to third, and Pena throws out Backman at first, the 2-3 to retire the first out of the inning. But Backman does his job, even though it was a chopper in front of the plate. It was a tough play for Pena, and he took the sure out at first. That'll bring up first baseman Keith Hernandez. Hernandez, one of the best fielding first basemen and an underrated hitter. He's got gap power, but he can put it over the fence when he needs to. He bats from the left side, and he will set for the pitch from Reuschel. Early on, with Gooden on the mound, they are going to bring the corners in to try to cut off Dykstra at the plate if they have the opportunity. So corners are in. Hernandez waits for the pitch from Reuschel. Reuschel from the stretch. That's a 4-10. That's a ballpark single possibility. Both sides are 1 to 8 today, so let's see what the ballpark says. Keith Hernandez pulls a single through the right side. Dykstra will score easily, and Hernandez has a single and an RBI. And with 1 out already, the Mets lead 1-0 here in the top of the first. Hernandez is a 13 stealer with a 3 success rating. They will not hold him. Or will they? I'd probably hold him in real life, so they will hold him. I tend to hold just about anybody who doesn't have, absolutely no chance of stealing. Just because the hold is really high doesn't mean that the Pirates wouldn't have held them. It actually means they would have. So let's go Mets. Alex, you're a Mets fan, Alex? I'm a Yankees fan. I grew up in the shadow of the stadium, but I rooted for the Mets in 1986 when the Yankees failed to make the playoffs. I'm an equal opportunity New York fan. Although, to be honest with you, I just love baseball. I love to watch a good baseball game, and I especially love a good Strat-O-Matic game. So Hernandez held it first, but he's not going anywhere, and Gary Carter comes to the plate. By the way, folks, Hernandez, a .310 hitter, 34 doubles, 1 triple, 13 homers, and 83 batted in. Keith hates it when he doesn't score 100 and drive in 100, so he'll hope to improve on his expected performance. Once again, you see 94 walks to 69 strikeouts, more walks than strikeouts for the first 3 batters in this Mets lineup. Hernandez stole 2 and was caught once. The ideal ratio, if not better, but he's not going anywhere. That brings up Gary Carter. You grew up in Queens right up the 7th train? Oh, nice, man. That's awesome. I grew up in the Bronx, like I said, 179th Street, about 3.5 blocks from the stadium for the first few years, and then moved up to Riverdale. But we used to take the L train in and sit in the bleachers on the weekends when I was a teenager. So I don't remember which train line it was, though. I really don't. Started at 242nd Street and took us right to the stadium with no changes. So I wish I could remember what it was. Probably look it up, but I'm not going to do it now. Here's Carter batting cleanup with Hernandez at first. He's a .255 hitter, 14 doubles, 2 triples, 24 homers for the kid, 105 batted in. And Gary is the first Met we see with more strikeouts than walks, but just by 1, 63 Ks to 62 bases on balls. The Mets will rely heavily on Carter in the cleanup spot this season. Reuschel takes a look at Hernandez as a courtesy and then prepares to deal to Carter from the stretch. It's going to be a 6-8 right-handed Carter. I don't think we've hit a batter's card yet, and the Mets have a lead, so that's not good for Reuschel. That's a grounder to short. The shortstop Khalifa will field it. He flips to Ray at second. There'll be no throw to first as Hernandez slides and takes Ray out at second. So Carter will reach on the fielder's choice, and Hernandez is retired for the second out of the inning. Now Gary is at 220. They will not hold Gary, but I like to roll for these twos. See if he can get a good lead. Nope. So Carter's on at first. The infield playing back, and Strawberry comes to the plate. Darryl. Darryl is a .259 hitter. 27 doubles, 27 homers, 93 runs batted in. 72 walks, and there's some strikeouts, 141. He figures he'll make up for everybody else by swinging freely. He stole 28 and was caught 12 times, so a nice mix of power and speed for Strawberry. Darryl waits from the left side, Reuschel the righty to deliver with 2 outs here, and Carter on first. That is going to be a 4-8 against the left-hander, and that's a single to center. Orsolak picks it up off the ground. Carter will hold at second with 2 outs. Gary's not exactly fleet of foot, and the Mets have first and second with 2 down, and here's George Foster, the longtime Cincinnati slugger, hanging out with the Mets this season. A .227 batter and limited play, 233 at-bats. 6 doubles, 1 triple. He's still got some power, though, 13 homers and 38 batted in. He struck out 53 and walked just 21. A solid platoon card for Foster, and he will contribute if the Mets are going to do anything this year. So Foster waits for the pitch from Reuschel. Righty on righty action. That's a 6-5, another pitcher's card. Ground ball shortstop X. Khalifa is a 4E34. He's not holding anybody on, so nothing changes. And let's see what our X chart says. 4E34, we've got a 4 on a 4. That's going to be a single 2. And what is that? A 4-7-9 on a 34 shortstop. Nothing doing for the error, so it's a single, and the runners will advance 2 bases. Foster slaps one through the left side. Carter will chug around third. He was moving on the pitch, and he will score. Strawberry hustles into third ahead of the throw. And the Mets now lead 2-0. Foster's got himself an RBI base hit to start the season. And that will bring up Howard Johnson. Johnson, a switch hitter. Not quite in his glory days with the Mets. He's got a year or 2 to go for that. I think he picks it up next year, actually, with full-time play. But this year, coming from his Detroit Tigers stint, he's a .245 hitter in 228 bats, 14 doubles, 10 homers, 39 runs batted in. 31 walks and 64 Ks. Johnson with surprising speed. He doesn't look like he could run, but he stole 8 and was caught just once. So the switch hitter Johnson will bat left against Reuschel. The big righty sets from the stretch. He takes a look at Strawberry, who's got speed at third. He's not worried about Foster at first at all. Nobody's being held on, and Johnson, his bat waving slightly, waits for the pitch. It is a 3-6 against the right-hander. He pops this one up on the infield. Over toward second base, Sid Breen calls everybody off and makes the play to retire the side, but not before the Mets score 2. They leave 2. And at the end of a half an inning, New York 2, Pittsburgh nothing. But Pittsburgh hasn't had a chance yet, folks. Well, that'll bring up Dr. K. Dwight Gooden will take the mound for New York, and they love to give him the lead. Starting things off against Gooden will be R.J. Reynolds. The right fielder today, Reynolds is a .269 batter, 30 doubles, 2 triples, 9 homers, and 48 batted in. 40 walks to 78 Ks. He's got a little bit of speed. A B stealer with 16 steals to 9 caught. So a selective stealer will be Reynolds. The 20 can take a rest until we get runners on base. And Reynolds batting left against Gooden. Dr. K deals. It's a 1-5 against the right-hander. Reynolds down on strikes. Gooden starting the season off with a strikeout. And there's one down. Here's Joe Orsolak. Orsolak playing center, bats left. A .249 batter, 19 doubles, 6 triples, 2 homers, and 19 batted in. 28 walks and 38 strikeouts. He stole 24 and was caught 11. Now remember, folks, Barry Bonds is on this Pittsburgh team in 1986, and he's a rookie, but he didn't start today. He's on the bench. We'll see if he gets any action later. I don't think he made his debut today either, but we can rewrite history in Strat-O-Matic, folks, and if the situation calls for it, Bonds may get an at-bat. For those of you wondering, I'm playing as played but as carded, so I've made the trades with the carded players available for 86. If a player is not carded, he simply will not appear. I'll make the appropriate trades at the time they occurred during the season. But otherwise, we'll just fill in for somebody like we did today. Steve Kemp was due to start in left for Pittsburgh, but Lee Mazzilli filled in because Kemp didn't get a card. All right. Back to the game, folks. 1 out. Here's Orsolak. Waits for the pitch from Gooden. How about a 4-6? Left side. That's a fly ball to center. Should be no problem for Lenny Dykstra. He takes it in for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here for Pittsburgh, and Gooden looking comfortable early. That'll bring up Johnny Ray, the switch-hitting second baseman for Pittsburgh. A 300 hitter, 301 actually, 33 doubles, 7 homers, 78 runs batted in. Finally, we've got a guy with more walks than strikeouts on this Pirates team. 58 walks and 47 Ks. He stole 6 but was caught 9. So when Johnny gets on base, he'd do better to stay where he is. That doesn't mean we won't try to steal with him, should the occasion offer, though. So Ray waits from the left side. Gooden delivers. How about a 4-9 against the lefty? That's a base on balls. Ray with good patience there. Gooden thought he painted the corner, but the umpire, Bob Engel, disagreed, and Ray is on. So 15, he's actually got a chance to steal here. He does get caught on a 10-12, but we'd like to get him in scoring position for Sid Bream. Bream comes to bat from the left side, the first baseman, a 268 hitter. 37 doubles, 16 homers, and 77 RBIs. That's what we would call gap power, folks. 60 walks to 73 Ks, which isn't bad. 13 steals to 7 caught. But still, it'd be better if Ray was in scoring position, so Johnny will try to get a lead. He'll get a good lead on 2-5. He'll be automatically caught on a 10-12. That's a 10. So Ray takes off for the base, but Carter guns him down in plenty of time. Ray caught stealing to end the inning. And Dwight Gooden gets a non-traditional 1-2-3 inning thanks to the caught stealing by Ray. He pats Carter on the back as they head to the dugout. And Reuschel will come back to the mound to face the Mets in the second. The Mets will send Santana, Gooden, and the top of the order, Dykstra. Rafael Santana, the reasonably good fielding shortstop for New York. He's in there for his glove, not his bat. 218 with 11 doubles, 1 homer, and just 28 RBIs. He walked 36 and struck out 43, an on-base percentage of just 285, and a slugging percentage of 254. So Raffy clearly in there for his glove work. Santana waits. That's right against Reuschel. That's right against everybody, for that matter. Anytime a dice bounces out of the box, we will re-roll it. That's my rule. And a 5-9. Also, you'll notice we use the dice colors for the hometown team. Well, 5-9 against the righty Reuschel, that's a normal homer, 1-8. Well, Santana doesn't have home run power. He's weak against both sides of the plate, so that'll be a single 1-8, double 9-20. That's a single for Santana, a leadoff single. So the Mets have the leadoff runner on 2 straight innings. Raffy has never stolen a base in his life, at least not in 86, and that'll bring up Gooden. The corners will come in to guard against the bunt. Gooden will undoubtedly lay it down anyway. He's a bunting D, so let's get that ready. And we'll see what happens. Doc would love to move Santana into second here. The corners are in. How about a 4-6 on the sacrifice attempt? The first baseman, Bream, will field it, and it's going to be based on the defense. Batter drops down a bunt, defensive option of throwing the batter out at first. We're trying to throw the lead runner out. Lead runner's safe range is speed -4 plus fielder. So let's take a look at Santana's speed and see if there's even going to be a question about this one. A 1-12 -4 is a 1-8 plus Bream's fielding is a 1-11. Tempting, but early in the game he's going to take the short out. So he flips to Reuschel and completes the sacrifice. Santana moves into second in scoring position. All right, folks. We've got Lenny Dykstra coming up. Dykstra is 1-for-1, doubled and scored a run in the first. He's getting his second at bat in the second inning, so you know how the game's going for New York. Reuschel looks a little flustered early. This Mets team sure can't throw it at you. And they've got pitching to back it up. A rotation deeper than probably anybody in the league. Reuschel is set from the stretch. Takes a cursory look at Santana, who he knows doesn't like to steal bases. Kind of unusual for a shortstop, and it's a 3-3 to Dykstra. A fly ball right field X. R.J. Reynolds a 3E15. We'll see what that means. How about a 6-12 against the 3E15? Well, that's going to be a single 2. And single 2E2. Uh-oh. Single 2E2. Single and an error, batter to third. Everybody scores. So a single, an error on Reynolds, the right fielder, allows Dykstra to get over to third. Santana scores easily. There will be no RBI on that. They rule he scored on the error. So Dykstra on third, another run in. The Mets now lead 3-0, and Wally Backman coming up. Will they bring the corners in here? Probably not. Reuschel's getting shellacked a little bit. You know what? They'll make the play at the plate if they get it. So Dykstra is held on third. Yeah, they're not going to bring the corners in. They're going to play straight away. They'll concede the run here. And that's a 3-3. Backman batting left. By the way, Backman 0 for 1 so far today. Against the righty. That's a ground ball to first base. That would have prevented the run, but here, playing back, Bream takes it and flips to Reuschel. Dykstra races home on contact. And Backman's got himself a ground-out RBI. The Mets now lead 4-0, and we've got 2 outs here in the second inning. That'll bring up Keith Hernandez with nobody on. Hernandez 1 for 1. He singled and drove in a run in the first. How about a 1-6 against the righty Reuschel? Hernandez lays off and draws a base on balls. Looks like Reuschel might have a short day, folks. So Hernandez on first. They will hold him on with 2 outs, and Gary Carter comes to the plate. Carter reached on a fielder's choice and later scored on a George Foster single. Carter from the right. Reuschel with the pitch from the stretch. How about a 6-5? Grounder to short. X. Khalifa 4E34 again. They're testing these Pittsburgh fielders early. And that's a 10-8. G3. He's not holding anybody, is he? No, he would not be. Yep, the second baseman will be the hold. So say it again. 4E34, 10-8. G3. And it's the only thing I don't like about Super Advanced sometimes is the double look. But Khalifa picks it and goes the short way to retire Hernandez. Carter technically reaches on the fielder's choice, but the inning is over. So the Mets pick up 2 more. They leave 1. And after 2, they lead 4-0. This one could get away quick, folks. Gooden, who's faced 3 batters, comes out. He'll face Bream, Mazzilli, and Pena. We talked about Bream already. 268, 37 doubles, 16 homers. We went over that. Gooden is set, the windup, and the pitch. How about a 5-6 against the lefty? And that's a fly ball out toward left. Foster ranges over. Should have plenty of room, no problem for Foster, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. That will bring up Lee Mazzilli, longtime Met and soon to be a Met again. Mazzilli this year in 151 at-bats, 245, 5 doubles, 1 triple, 3 homers, 15 runs batted in, a nice on-base percentage at 401, and you'll see to 38 walks to 36 strikeouts. 4 stolen bases to 4 caught, so Mazzilli a serviceable year in 86. In limited playtime. Gooden is ready. Mazzilli bats from the left side. We've got a jumper. Reroll. How about a 4-6? Fly ball out to center. Dykstra roams over and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. And that brings up Tony Pena, the catcher. Pena, a solid hitter. 288 batting average, 26 doubles, 10 homers, and 52 runs batted in. 53 walks to go with 69 strikeouts. He tried to steal a few too many bases. He stole 9, but was caught 10. So Pena will try to get something going with 2 outs here in the second, and the Mets leading by 4. Good with the pitch. How about a 4-8 against the right-hander? That's a base on balls. So this inning looking a lot like the first. 2 guys out and then a walk. Pena a 15 success. That would be a 14. He's kind of like Bream in that he'll get caught a lot. He gets caught automatically on a 9 or a 10. Will they test Carter again? Sure they will. No, they won't with a 4-run deficit, actually. It was a 2-run deficit. We tried again. 4 runs down. They're going to sit back and hope Jim Morrison hits one out of the park. Morrison's capable of doing just that. The third baseman for the Pirates, 274, 35 doubles, 23 homers, 88 runs batted in 1986. His 47 walks go with 88 strikeouts, and he stole 9 bases but was caught 8 times. Reasonable power from Morrison. He'll wait for the pitch from Reuschel. From Gooden, pardon me. Jumping ahead here. 4-7. And that's a strikeout. Gooden retires Morrison, and that's his second strikeout. And the inning is over. 1 left. Pittsburgh cannot score. And the Mets come to bat with a 4-0 lead. Reuschel's still in there. If you're wondering what his point of weakness is, he's a 6, while Gooden is an 8. That means that's the inning they can first get fatigued, although Reuschel's given up 4 runs in 2 innings. Let's see, if he gives up, he would have to give up 3 more runs to be automatically fatigued in this inning. And he will face Strawberry. Darrell's 1 for 1. He singled back in the first, pardon me. Reuschel on the mound. He pitches from the windup, a 1-7. Strawberry swings for the fences and misses everything. 1 down, a strikeout for Reuschel. And he gets a first out instead of a leadoff hit. That's usually a better start. Foster comes up. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI back in the first. The pitch from Reuschel, a 5-6 against the right-hander. Fly ball to center. Orsulak is there and makes the play for the second out of the inning. So Reuschel may be settling down a little bit. It'd be weird for the veteran to have opening day jitters, but it happens. And that'll bring up Howard Johnson. Johnson lined out to first his first time up. Actually, I believe he popped out to first his first time up. He's 0 for 1 on the season. How about a 6-6 against the left-handed batting Johnson? A grounder down to second. Johnny Ray is there. Makes the pick and the play over to Bream. And a 1-2-3 inning for Reuschel. So he settled down, and maybe he'll be able to get some length here on opening day. So the Pirates don't blow out their bullpen on the first game of the season. Gooden back to the mound. He will face Khalifa, Reuschel, and then R.J. Reynolds. Sam Khalifa is a 185 hitter. Yikes. That's probably why he only got 151 at-bats this season. 6 doubles, no triples, no homers, just 4 runs batted in 151 at-bats. Measure that out to a full season. If he got 600 at-bats, he would have gotten 16 RBIs. But he's actually slightly better than Santana in the on-base department, isn't he? Actually, no, I think he's slightly worse. Anyway, Khalifa will lead off the inning. His first at-bat of the season comes against Dwight Gooden. Gooden delivers a 2-2 against the right-hander. Ground ball, third base, A. So Johnson fields it, fires over to Hernandez, and Khalifa is retired. That says injury, but we ignore injuries since we're doing as played. All right, 1 down, and here comes Reuschel. It's kind of early. They'd like to get some length out of him and hope they can score some runs and get back in this one. So Reuschel will hit for himself. He is a 2 WR, no power. How about a 4-6? Strikes him out. Gooden's third strikeout of the day. Doing what he does best. Now, if he walks R.J. Reynolds, he's going to be repeating a pattern that's going to get him in trouble sooner or later. You can't get the first 2 guys out and walk the third guy every time. Reynolds struck out his first time up. How about a 6-8 against the lefty batting Reynolds right now? A single 1-2 or a grounder to Hernandez. Let's see. A 20, it's an easy grounder to Hernandez. He will take it himself and retire the side. So a 1-2-3 inning for Gooden. This time he does it the traditional way. The Pirates go down here in the third, and the Mets still lead 4-0 as we head to the 4th inning. Reuschel will face Santana, Gooden, and Dykstra. Rafi Santana is 1 for 1 today with a run scored. Nice start to the season for him. How about a 1-4? That's a single to right. Santana goes the other way, and it's through the hole. A seeing eye single, and Santana's on at first. Well, we know what that means. Dwight Gooden's going to try to lay down a bunt again. He will be a debunter, but he's happy to perform the service to try to help his team win. Who are we kidding? Everybody wants to hit homers, but Gooden knows his capabilities. Well, that's a 2, so that is, got to think for a second, possible pass ball. So Carter, pass ball only on a 1 to 2. We'll re-roll the 20. It's a 16, so no pass ball. So Gooden again, trying to lay down the bunt, a 1-5. It'll be fielded by the pitcher, and a 5 on a D is a successful sacrifice. So Gooden bunts it down the third baseline. Reuschel rises over fields, fires quickly to Bream. But Santana advances to second, and Gooden gets the job done. That'll bring up Dykstra. Dykstra has doubled and walked, scored both times. Santana at second with 1 out. Here's the pitch from Reuschel. It is, oops, that's cocked, so that's a reroll. How about a 1-7 against the right-hander? A fly ball to left field, B question mark. Santana is not going to try to advance with the fly ball to left. So 2 down. I don't think he can, actually. And Wally Backman comes up, 2 outs. Santana still waiting at second. He's only about 2 steps off the bag, but he'll be going with the pitch here. Reuschel delivers. How about a 1-6? A single to left. Oh, wait, it's a clutch situation. Never mind. He's batting left-handed. That's going to be a pop-up on the infield, and Johnny Ray takes it. 4 to 3rd out of the inning. Clutch hurts Backman there, and the Mets are retired without scoring for the 2nd inning in a row. Davey Johnson doesn't like that. He wants them to score every inning, but what can you do? You can't be perfect, folks. They're doing their best out here. That'll bring up Orsulak against Gooden here in the bottom of the 4th. Pirates desperately trying to get something going and chip away at this 4-run lead. Orsulak flew out to center his first time up. Here's the pitch from Gooden. It's a 6-7 against the left-hander Orsulak. It's going to be a grounder to Wally Backman. He's a 3E30. And that will be a 2. That's never good. 13. 2 on a 3 is a single. And 13 on a 30 is nothing. So a single for Orsulak. A leadoff single. And the Pirates have their first hit of the day. Orsulak, a pretty good base stealer, a 17. He would be a 16 if he can get a good lead here, so he will try. How about an 8? Nope, Orsulak cannot get a good lead. That would mean he'd only be a 12. He's not going anywhere right now, folks. Johnny Ray comes to bat. Ray walked and was caught stealing his first time up. Gooden takes a look at Orsulak, keeps him close with a throw over, then ready to pitch from the stretch. How about a 3-3? And that's a ground ball to first base. Hernandez will field it. Flip to Gooden. Orsulak goes down to second on the play. So there's 1 out with a runner at second, and Sid Bream comes up. A little shake to keep us honest. Bream is 0 for 1, flew out to left his first time up. And here's the pitch from Gooden. How about a 5-8? That, am I getting my head in there? Close. How about a 5-8 left side? Triple 1 to 3, single 4 to 20. This is trouble. It is hit out towards center. That's going to be cut off by Dykstra. But Orsulak comes around to score on the base hit by Sid Bream, and the Pirates are on the board. They now trail 4 to 1. So Bream is on. He's actually got a pretty good stolen base chance here if he can get a good lead. 2 to 6 or a 12 for a good lead. 10 is not a good lead, so Bream is anchored at first. Gooden takes a couple of cursory throws over to make sure he knows he's watching him. And that'll bring up Mazzilli. Mazzilli flew out to center his first time up. Gooden is set, glances at Bream, and then delivers. 6-5 against the left-hander. Ground ball to shortstop back. Santana better show his glove here. A 2E23. How about a 9-15 on the 2E23? Is he holding him? Is he responsible for holding him? He actually is responsible for holding him, so he's a 3E23. 9 on a 3, does that make a difference? Well, it's a G3 instead of a G2. And what did I say, 15 on a 23 is nothing. So G3 with a runner on first base. Runners advance. So Santana has only one play, and he takes it, fires to Hernandez to retire Mazzilli. But Bream is down to second. That was a deep chopper to Santana, and he made a good play. I'll bring up Tony Pena with 2 outs and Bream on second. Pirates trailing by 3, and Gooden is set. The pitch, a 4-3 to the right-hander Pena. Fly ball to center field. Dykstra is there. He's a 2-E5. Lots of X chances early in this one, folks. How about a 16-10? 16 on a 2 is an F3, and 10 on an E5 is nothing. So Dykstra roams over. He makes the play on the run to retire Pena and the side. But Pittsburgh picks up a run. Pittsburgh picks up a run. And now trailed by just 3 as we head to the 5th. The Mets lead 4-1, and coming up to bat, the heart of the order, Hernandez, Carter, and Strawberry against Reuschel, who has settled down considerably since his first 2 innings. Here's Reuschel to pitch to Hernandez. Keith, a perfect day so far. A single and an RBI in the first, a walk in the second. How about a 3-9 against the right-hander? That's a foul ball behind the plate. Pena might have room, and he does. Makes the catch by the screen and retires Hernandez. Keith is frustrated. He hates that. It's better than striking out, but not by much. Keith likes to put the ball in play. He's a firm believer in the Wolf-Reniak school of hitting. There's Gary Carter. Gary has reached twice on a fielder's choice, technically 0 for 2. He did score a run back in the first. Reuschel with the windup. 4-5 to the right-handed Carter. Fly ball out toward left. Mazzilli ranges over and makes the play. Can of corn for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the slugging lefty Strawberry. Strawberry 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout today. Darrell waits for the pitch from Reuschel. A 5-6. Fly ball out towards center. Orsulak looks like he'll have room, and he does. That's the third out of the inning, and Reuschel has now retired 5 in a row. 1-2-3 for Rick. And the Pirates, chipping away at this Mets lead, come up in the bottom of the 5th, trailing by 3. Morrison, Khalifa, and Reuschel will be due up. Morrison today struck out his first time up. Gooden looks in. He likes the sign. 6-5 against the righty. Ground ball to shortstop. Santana, a 2-E23 with nobody on. How about a 4-13? Oops, we grabbed both of them. What the heck? 4 on 2 is a G3, and a 13 on a 23 is an E1. Santana boots it. Oop, and I hit the camera. Everything will stop shaking in a minute, folks. He has to eat it, and Morrison is reaches first on the error. The leadoff runner. Morrison have a steal chance. He's not bad, actually. He'd be a 14 if he can get a good lead. He needs a 3-7, but he is automatically out on an 8. So let's see what happens. It's an 8. Morrison's caught stealing. He tried to steal on the first pitch, was a fastball, and Carter had no trouble with the release. Guns down Morrison. His second caught stealing of the day, for Carter, that is. And there's 1 out here, and Khalifa due up. So good and ready. Khalifa 0 for 1, grounded out his first time up. How about a 6-9? 6 hiding? Can you guys see that? I guess you can see it. 6-9 against the righty is a strikeout. So Dwight's 4th K of the day. They're hanging him up out there in the bleachers. And that'll bring up Roden. With 2 outs, Roden will hit for himself here in the 5th. Struck out his first time up, did Rick. Here's a 4-12. Rick's a right-hander, right? Correct. And that's a ground ball back to Gooden. A 1-E12. A good fielding pitcher is Gooden. He's good at everything, apparently. Except self-control, but I can relate. 1-E12, we've got a 9-13. 9 on a 1 is a G2. What did I say? 13 on an E12? No error, so Gooden makes the play. Tosses it over to Hernandez to retire the side. So the caught stealing on the leadoff run maybe costs them here, but they go down the non-traditional 1-2-3. And the Mets will come to bat with a 4-1 lead in the top of the 6th. Reuschel ready to pitch to Foster. Foster's 1 for 2 with an RBI today. The windup and the pitch from the big right-hander, 6-8. Against the righty Foster, that's a grounder to short. Khalifa, no problem. Tosses it to Bremen, plenty of time to retire the slow-footed Foster. 1 away. Howard Johnson due up. Howard has yet to get the ball out of the infield today. He popped out to third and then grounded out to second. 0 for 2 officially. Hope you guys are enjoying the game here today. I'm enjoying calling it for you. As we work through our opening day games for 1986. How about a 5-4 to Johnson batting left? The fly ball to center. Orsolak's a 2E7. Boy, we are running the X chances ragged today. How about a 15-9? On a 2E7, that's going to be an F2. F2 nothing. So Orsolak is there, makes the play, and retires Johnson for the second out of the inning. Santana coming up. He's got 2 base hits. Despite the error, he's kind of made up for it because he's 2 for 2 with a run scored. His bat waving slightly as Reuschel delivers a 1-8. Grounded right back to Reuschel. He picks it up and tosses to Bream to finally retire Santana. And Rick has really settled down. Another 1-2-3 inning here. He's retired 8 in a row. Actually, 9 in a row if you count the sacrifice hit. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Pirates still trying to come back, trailing by 3. R.J. Reynolds, the leadoff man, will lead it off. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. Gooden is ready. 1-11. Against a right-hander. Ground ball to first base. Hernandez will field it and flips to Gooden covering to retire Reynolds for the first out. Orsolak is up. 1 for 2 with a run scored. Gooden deals. How about a 4-9 left-hander? And that's a little outside. Gooden doesn't like it, but that's a base on balls for Orsolak. His second time on base today, and he's a base stealer. He'd like to get in scoring position with 1 out. A 6 means he does not have a good lead. Oh, yes, it does, actually. I'm looking at Johnny Ray. 2-6. He does have a good lead, so he's going to be a 16 trying to steal second. 19, forget it. Gary Carter's having none of it today. A caught stealing. Again, the third time the Pirates are caught trying to steal the second base today. Gary Carter's arm is warm and ready in midseason form, folks. Do not try to steal anymore. I wonder if the Pirates will learn their lesson after that one. They've run themselves out of some possible rallies today. So now here in the bottom of the 6th, Pirates trail by 3, 2 down, and Johnny Ray comes to the bat. He's 0 for 1 walked and has one of those 3 caught stealings. Good and looking confident. He knows his catcher has his back, and that's a good feeling. Well, he hits a little bit too much at the plate here. This one's hit out toward the gap and right. Ray turned on it a little bit. Gooden hung one on the inside half, and Ray bounces that off the wall. He's going to be into second standing with a stand-up double as Strawberry gets the ball back in to the cutoff man, Santana. So a 2-out double. That might have been a run if Orsolak hadn't gotten caught. Even if he hadn't attempted, Orsolak might have come around to score on that one. But instead, it's 2 outs and a runner at second here in the bottom of the 6th. Sid Bream due up. Bream has an RBI today. He's 1 for 2. Gooden from the stretch. That one tried to get it. Is that in reach? Kind of. I'll be right back. It's still spinning, folks. It's spinning on the ground over here. It doesn't count till it gets in the dice box, though. So we're coming back around and dropping it to see the results. Gooden delivers to Bream. It's a 4-4 against the left-hander. Fly ball to center. Dykstra will be tested. He's running hard to get this one. A 2E5. Will he get there? A 14-8. Well, the 14 looks good. That's an F2. An E5 and an 8. Dykstra runs it down. Doc tips his cap to Lenny as Dykstra makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning and retires Bream. So a couple of hard-hit balls, but the Pirates have nothing to show for it. thanks to that caught stealing. And as we head to the 7th, 4-1 4-1 New York, pardon me. Gooden due to lead off the inning, and he's pitching well, so he'll stay in. Pardon me while I wet the whistle. We're almost at the 7th inning stretch, but I can't wait. Gooden has 2 sacks today. This is the first time he gets to swing the bat. He's not a good hitter. He's a pitcher's hitting card 1, and he does have no power. He's a W. Right, so there's a 1-7. Strikes him out. Reuschel does what he's supposed to with Gooden. That is his 10th in a row retired for Rick. He's doing everything he can to make up for his first 2 innings and keep his team in the game. That'll bring up Dykstra. Lenny 1 for 2 on the day, a double and 2 runs scored. Rick delivers a 1-8. This is a home run 1-6, double 7-20. This one's hit high and deep toward right center field. Is it going to be deep enough? It's gone! Lenny Dykstra with a solo homer. His 3rd run scored of the day drives himself in and extends the Mets lead to 5-1. I don't know if Reuschel's getting tired, but that one was pretty much down the middle, and Dykstra didn't miss. It's hard to fool a guy when you throw it right over the heart of the plate. Well, so much for 10 in a row retired. Now he has to deal with Wally Backman with 1 out and a run in already on the Dykstra homer. Backman is 0 for 4 today. Yet to get the ball out of the infield. He does have an RBI for his troubles. Here's the pitch from Reuschel. It's a 2-5. Grounded down to second. Johnny Ray looks like he'll have a routine play, and he does, over to Bream for the 2nd out of the inning. That'll bring up Hernandez. An enviable hitter, Hernandez. 1 for 2 today. He walked and drove in a run. Keith waits for the pitch from Reuschel. How about a 2-11? Ballpark single. Needs to be a 1-8. It's a 17, so Hernandez pulls it, but right at Ray. Ray takes a step to his left and takes it in. And that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. But the Dykstra homer gives the Mets a run, and it is now 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 7th, and it's the 7th inning stretch. So if you need to get a beverage, go to the bathroom, or do what you got to do here in the middle of our live stream, be my guest. I hope you folks are enjoying the game. I'm enjoying calling it. It's a fun opening day here, for the New York fans anyway. Gooden comes back to the mound after the 7th inning stretch. He will face Mazzilli, Pena, and Morrison. Mazzilli 0 for 2 today. We'll get it going right away to keep you interested. The pitch from Gooden is a 1-12. That's a ballpark home run chance. Mazzilli batting from the left side. It's only going to be a 1-7. This one's hit deep to right field. Strawberry going back on it. Can he make the play? Yes, he can. He catches it at the wall. 1 or 2 steps short. Mazzilli gave it a ride, but didn't have the juice to get it out, and that's the 1st out of the inning, just a loud out. Gooden breathes a sigh of relief as Strawberry tosses the ball back in. That brings up Tony Pena. He's 0 for 1 with a walk today. Pena waiting, a solid hitter. Would like to get something going for his team. On the ground to short, Santana looks like he'll have a routine play, picks it and fires to retire Pena for the 2nd out of the inning. And that brings up Morrison. Morrison officially 0 for 2. He struck out, reached on an arrow, and was caught stealing. Jim waits from the right side. He's got power, but he can't hit a 4-run homer with nobody on base. He needs to focus on just getting on base here. A 5-9. Well, never mind. He's going to try to hit it out of the park. A normal home run 1-10. Jim's definitely got normal power. Or a double on 11-20. Let's see what the 20-sider says. It's a double. One hops the wall. Dykstra chases it down, and whoops, almost scored it in the wrong part of the scorecard there, but Morrison's in with his first base hit of the season, a 2-out double. So the Pirates have something going here, and it's Sam Khalifa due to bat. Well, maybe not. Let's see who Pittsburgh has on the bench. Oh, Mike Brown's a righty. Barry Bonds, that's interesting. Bill Allman. Actually, a better hitter than Bonds. Bonds is not great this year. Mike Diaz. Rafael Belliard and Junior Ortiz. Ortiz probably the best hitter, but he's their backup catcher, so we're not going to do that. It's not going to be Bonds just yet, folks. It's going to be Bill Allman coming in to pinch hit for Sam Khalifa. Now, if it goes to Reuschel and Allman reaches, we might see Barry. So Khalifa's day is done. The first casualty of substitution today. Allman will come in and pinch hit. They really need to get something going. Morrison on second, 2 out. And Bill Allman is up to bat for the first time this season. By the way, Billy Allman, a .219 batter, 196 at-bats, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 7 homers, and 27 batted in. He walked 30 times and struck out 38. He could steal a base, but that's not what he's doing for today. Look at that nice 3 column. That's not bad, and that's what they're hoping to hit right now against Gooden. Yep. So Gooden from the stretch takes a glance at Morrison. He's not worried about him. The run doesn't really matter anyway. And that's a 1-7. Single 1 to 12 or a line out to short. It's lined towards Santana. He's trying to make a play. It's past his glove. He can't get it. He knocks it down, though, recovers quickly, and Morrison has to stop at third. Single 1 asterisk there. So it's first and third, pardon me, with 1 out, and Reuschel is due to bat, and that's going to be the end of the day for Rick. So Reuschel goes 7. Does he? Yep. We can complete the book on him. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits, 1 homer, 5 runs. Were they all earned? I think so. They were all earned. And walks and strikeouts he had. Let's see. Nothing yet. That's a base on balls. 1 walk, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, 2 strikeouts. So 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. So the final line on Reuschel, 7 innings pitched, 8 hits, 1 homer, 5 runs, all 5 earned, 2 walks and 2 Ks, and he will give way to a pinch hitter here in the 7th. And who's it going to be, folks? Making his major league debut, the left-handed Barry Bonds against Dwight Gooden. That's pretty fun right there. Nobody knew what to expect from Bonds just yet. Although, if you can go by his father, Bobby. Hey, Dav09. Bonds' Major League debut. This is indeed Bonds' Major League debut. We couldn't have written the script any better. He does not represent the tying run, but he would bring them within 1 if he was able to go yard. The guy we now know will go on to be the Major League home run king, with an asterisk, depending on your opinion on matters. The asterisk is fine with me. Bonds should still be in the Hall of Fame, and so should all those guys. But I get why they're not. So Barry bats from the left side. He's got power. You see the ballpark homers on the 2.8 and 2.10, and a straight homer on 2.9. He is not yet the hitter he would be, but this is an interesting spot for him. Gooden will face Bonds with Morrison on third, Khalifa on first. The Pirates trailing by 4. Really, all Bonds wants to do is get on base, but anything better than that's a bonus. Gooden takes a glance at Morrison just to make sure he's not going anywhere. Doesn't care about Khalifa. And the pitch from Gooden, it's a 1-5. That's not Bonds' good. Actually, that's Bonds' bad column, and that's a strikeout. So the first time Barry faces a Major League pitcher, he's down on strikes to Dr. K. We've made history here, folks. Barry Bonds is in the bigs, but the Pirates still trail by 4. Bonds will be out. Let's just get a good pitcher in there for Pittsburgh. We've got Carter, Strawberry, and Foster coming up, so that's, what, a righty and 2 lefties, right? Reuschel's out. Let me make that change, excuse me. Do a little card shuffling. So we've got a righty, a lefty, and a righty. So ideally we'd go with a right-hander here. It looks like they're going to go with a workhorse in Jim Wynn. So, Wynn is a 1-hitter. Get the cards shuffled correctly. He'll go to the back of the pile. and the front of the line to face New York. So Win in the game. He's going to take over for Bonds. We also have to get a shortstop, I realize. Win is I can't really see here, 1E16 with a 3 fatigue rating. And we need a shortstop. Who's it going to be? Rafael Belliard will come in and bat 8th and play short. So Almond is out. So that's the wrong pile as well. Almond's day is over. And Belliard's in at short. The future Atlanta Braves steadfast shortstop of those championship or almost championships teams. Pardon me. Belliard is a 3 E25. So Almond's out. Bonds is out. Pardon the bookkeeping. Belliard is a shortstop, 3E25. I can barely read my own handwriting. And the Mets will come up trying to add to the lead here in the 8th. They have a 5-1 lead. That may have been Pittsburgh's best chance. Jimmy Wynn comes on. By the way, Wynn is a reliever. 88 innings pitched and 85 hits allowed, a 3.58 ERA. He ended up with a record of 3-5. He started 3 games and saved 3 times. He walked 38 and struck out 70. So a serviceable pitcher with some length is Wynn. He will face Carter, Strawberry, and Foster. So here's Carter, 0 for 3 on the day. He did score a run. How about a 1-6? Grounder down to short. Testing Belliard right away. He has no problem with the pick, and the fires to Bream for the first out of the inning. So Gary 0 for 4. Here's Darrell. Strawberry 1 for 3. He singled and struck out today. Wynn faces him. How about a 6-6? Against the left-handed Strawberry. That's single 1 to 7 or a grounder to second. So this one's hit toward Ray. Can he make the play? He can. He scoops it and fires to Bream. Nice play by Ray. And Strawberry is retired for the second out. That will bring up Foster. Foster 1 for 3 on the day. He had an RBI back in the first inning. George waits from the right side. Wynn to deliver. How about a 5-7 against the righty? That's double 1 to 9, single 10 to 20. Foster will have his second hit of the day, and it is a one-hopper off the wall. Fielded by R.J. Reynolds, but Foster chugs into second base ahead of the throw. So a 2-out double for Foster. The Mets threatening, and now it's Howard Johnson. Johnson is 0 for 3 on the day. A season away from becoming one of the premier home run hitters in the National League. And Wynn looks in, likes the sign he gets, and here's the pitch. Foster not being held. It's a 3-7. Uh-oh. Double 1 to 8, single 9 to 20. Hojo's going to have his first base hit of the day. And this one hops the wall in left field. Mazzilli recovers, but not before Johnson can pull into second. Foster chugs all the way around third and gets home. Johnson in just ahead of the throw, and it is now 6-1 New York. Well, Wynn's probably going to stay in there and mop things up. Unless Pittsburgh can really get something going. We'll bring up Santana. He's 2 for 3 on the day. Never thought you'd hear me say that, did you? He scored a run. Johnson's on second with 1 out, and Howard's being held at second. Although with this score, he's not going anywhere, and it's a 3-12. Well, Santana draws up base on balls. Go figure. That means Dwight Gooden will get to swing the bat again. Doctor's not coming out. Not yet, anyway. He gave up 2 hits last inning, but he's nowhere near fatigued. So Gooden will swing away. He's 0 for 1 on the day officially, a strikeout and 2 sack hits. Jim Leyland's managerial debut, you're absolutely right. It's a historic game here on JC Sports Replays. For those of you who tuned in late, my name is Joe, and we are playing the 1986 season. It's opening day here in Three River Stadium. And Gooden waits. Bat very still. Looks like he's never held one before, even though he's been up to bat 3 times today. This is a 6-8. Gooden batting from the right side. Uh-oh. That is a triple 1-2, single 3-20. Jim Wynn is cursed. Dwight Gooden with a good piece of hitting. Slaps one through the right side. That's going to get past Ray. Johnson hustles around to score. Makes it 7-1. Santana ends up at third, and Dwight Gooden helps the cause. He's got his RBI single to make it 7-1 Mets here on opening day in Pittsburgh. The Pirates fans are starting to leave the building. So 2 down, Santana at third, Gooden at first, and we're back to Dykstra, who's 2 for 3 on the day, 3 runs scored, a walk, a double, a homer, and a run batted in on that home run. A good day for Lenny in the leadoff spot. He waits patiently for the pitch from Wynn. Wynn probably going to take the beating here if it keeps going. A 1-8, well, it's going to keep going. That is hit deep to right field. A home run 1-6 or a double 7-20. R.J. Reynolds is chasing. He will not get there. Forget about it. It's Lenny Dykstra's second homer of the day. A 3-run shot. And boy, oh boy, folks. Wynn has given up 5 runs here in the 8th inning. And Lenny has 2 homers on the day. He rounds the bases, taking his time, chewing his chaw. What a day. Huge game for Nails is right, Dav. Oh, my. Well, that's going to be it for Wynn, folks. Leland has seen enough. He doesn't want to wreck one of his workhorse relievers' confidence on opening day, so he's out of there. And they're going to bring in the worst guy they have to mop it up. Let's see who that's going to be. They actually have a pretty good bullpen. We've got some spot starters back here, and it's going to be Bob Patterson. Who? Exactly. I don't remember Bob Patterson, do you? So Wynn, we can actually write the book on him because of the homer. He's pitched 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 4 hits, 1 homer, 5 runs, all earned, and 1 walk to go with no strikeouts. Patterson will come in, and I don't think he'll leave the game no matter what happens. Patterson, a starter and reliever. He started 5 games in '86, a 2-3 record, 4.95. I don't know how many appearances he had because Strat doesn't tell you, but 36 innings pitched, 49 hits allowed, so this might not get any better. He does have good control, just 5 walks to go with 20 strikeouts, and none of the pitches he threw left the park. So that's a plus. But 2 outs here, a huge 2-out rally for New York. They've added 5, and it's now 10-1 New York going away. He pitched a few years for the Pirates, then moved to Texas in '93. Nice. I appreciate your knowledge, Dav. I don't know a lot of these interim guys, especially from the 80s. I was a young feller. I have a pretty good familiarity with the American League this year because I was a Yankees fan, and this was my first ever Strat-O-Matic baseball set, so I played the crap out of it for about 4 years before I forgot about it and learned about girls. Came back to Strat in my late 30s and have been playing pretty consistently since. I'm now 51, so figure I'm back for about 14 years. But happy to be streaming with you guys tonight. Hope the broadcast is coming through nicely. And we have a blowout game we'll try to finish up for you. A historic game, as you said, with Leland and Bonds making their major league debuts. But the Mets are establishing their dominance early in a season where we all know they'd go on to win 108. That's a tough task to replay, but they're going to do their best, obviously. That'll bring up Backman. He's 0 for 4 with a ribby. Has not gotten the ball out of the infield, but that's okay. The Mets lead 10-1, and Wally can take a day off once in a while. Here's Patterson, the lefty, facing Backman, who will bat right. How about a 6-6? Strikes him out. That's what they needed. They get out of the inning at last. Patterson does his job, but the damage is done. 5 big runs, capped by the 3-run homer by Lenny Dykstra. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. The Pirates almost out of hope. Gooden pitching fairly well. Has allowed just a 1 run. He will face the top of the order in Reynolds, Orsulak, and Ray. And if Pittsburgh's going to get anything going, you were 15 in '86. Yeah, I was 13, right? So it was a great baseball year. 100%. It's actually one of the best seasons I can recall. And I'm sure that's colored by the rose-colored glasses of nostalgia, but that's okay. That's why we play these games, folks. If there was no such thing as nostalgia, how Richmond would not have had a business model, nor for that matter would Dick Seitz. So anyway, Gooden comes out for the 8th. This is his point of weakness inning. He will face Reynolds to lead things off. RJ is 0 for 3, struck out once. Gooden would like to add to that K total. That's his nickname after all. But this one's on the ground to Santana. A routine play over to Hernandez to retire Reynolds for the first out of the inning. Here's Reuschel. Joe's 1 for 2, a run scored, a walk, and a caught stealing. Dwight deals. How about a 6-10 against the lefty? Strikes him out. Gooden's, I believe, let's see, 6th or 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6th strikeout of the day for the doctor. He hasn't been prolific, but he's been solid. Wasn't quite as dominant in 86 as he was in 85, but really can't complain. He's still the ace of this staff. So 2 down quickly here for Pittsburgh in the bottom of the 8th as they're rapidly running out of hope and outs. Johnny Ray comes to bat. He's 1 for 2, doubled and walked, and was one of the 3 caught stealings on Gary Carter's arm today. How about a 1-6 against the righty? And that's a base hit. Ray pulls one through the right side, batting left, and he's on at first. No thought of him stealing. He will be held, though. That brings up Sid Bream. Bream 1 for 3 with a ribby. Gooden with the delivery. It's a 6-9 against the left-hander. Strikes him out, the 7th of the day for Gooden. Gets out of the inning. No real problem. 1 left for Pittsburgh, and they are going to be down to their final 3 outs. But first, the Mets will come up and try to add on. Insult to injury, so to speak, with the heart of their order, Hernandez, Carter, and Strawberry. So Patterson will face the lefty Hernandez. Keith hits lefties and righties equally well, really. He's an equal opportunity hitter. And a 1-4, that's a ballpark single chance. Needs a 1-8 to get a base hit. 17 is not a base hit. Instead, it's a line drive to Johnny Ray for the first out of the inning. So 1 down quickly, and here's Gary Carter. Carter 0 for 4 with a run scored. Patterson deals a 4-9. Grounded down to third. It's going to be no problem for Morrison. He picks it and fires across to Bream to retire the slow-footed Carter. 2 down here in the 9th for the Mets. Here comes Strawberry. He's 1 for 4. Singled and struck out today. How about a 4-10 for the left-hander? And Patterson strikes out Strawberry. A 1-2-3 inning. A little too late, but at least there's no more damage. Pittsburgh trails by 9, 10-1 as we go to the 9th, and the doctor comes out to finish what he started. Gooden with 7 Ks so far. He'd like to make it an even 9. That's uneven, sir. That's an odd number. Yeah, but it sounds good when you go 9 and strike out 9 or more, doesn't it? Lee Mazzilli will bat. Mazzilli 0 for 3. A couple of fly balls and a ground out. Gooden with the pitch to Mazzilli. It's a 5-6. Fly ball out toward left. Should be no problem for Foster. He only has to take a couple of steps and takes it in to retire Mazzilli. 1 down. Pittsburgh down to their final 2 outs. And we're going to get through this one quickly. Pena 0 for 2 with a walk today. Gooden delivers a 2-10. Grounded down to short. Santana is there. Tosses over to Hernandez to retire Pena for the 2nd out of the inning. And with that, here on opening day, Pittsburgh is down to their final out, and it's Jim Morrison. Morrison doubled. He's 1 for 3. Struck out and was caught stealing. How about a 2-2? That's a line drive, but right at Backman. He doesn't even have to move. He makes the catch. Hard hit by Morrison, but that's the final out of the game and the inning. The Mets are victorious over the Pittsburgh Pirates here on opening day at Three Rivers Stadium by a score of 10-1. Gooden will get the win. He goes the distance. Let's close the book on Doc. We'll give him the W, obviously. He gave up a few hits. Not too many, though. Let's see. Well, nothing there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 6-hitter for Gooden. No homers. 1 run. It was earned. And we know he struck out 7. How many did he walk? 1, 2, 3. 3 walks for Gooden. So that'll be our ball game, folks. Thanks for tuning in to JC Sports Replays. I hope you'll be around for future broadcasts of our 1986 baseball replay. We'll see you soon. Thanks very much for hanging out with me tonight. Bye-bye. Good timing.
Hi, babe.